Hi.
Hi, Marianne. How are you?
Good. It's been so long. My God.
Thank you. I'm going to come
Thank
in.
you for coming on this rainy day.
No problem.
On such short notice.
For you,
My
anything.
hero. These are the images that are going to the Hyatt Hotel in, where is it? It's near Tampa. So actually near where the painting is going that I sold. So, but the images, they're licensing these 2 images. And I had sent them images that I took with a camera that is so ridiculous, I don't even want to show it to you because it's not here anyway. So I have to really upgrade my...
But in any event, if they're licensing, so they're going to make multiple copies and they're going to put them in the hotel.
Yeah, right. They're going to make 1 copy of each, 2 feet by 3 feet, and put it in the lobby of the hotel. And they're using this one as it is, and the other one they're cropping a little bit to have the same dimensions.
Right.
So it's going to be picked up on Monday. So I have to go build the crate for it. But I've got all the materials, I just have to put everything together. And this was sold off the Saatchi website. I've been on that site for I don't know how many years, and I never sold anything. But they kept me on there. And actually, I would recommend them to any artist. They're a really good and reputable online gallery.
Is it Saatchi.com?
Yeah, it's Saatchi Art, SAATCHIART.com. And there was an art collector in London called Charles Saatchi. Mm-hmm. But I think in the beginning they were affiliated with him, but now they're not anymore. And they actually had an event in Manhattan one day that I got to go to, and I met some of my fellow artists and some of the people who work for them. And so, which is something they've been talking about in these times of pandemic. People are Zooming each other, but there's nothing that can replace meeting somebody in person. As good as these people have been to me doing business with me, the fact that I met some of them, and we were we had hors d'oeuvres and drinks and stuff. It was really a wonderful event. So I was very happy with that. The photograph this is based on is the greenhouse at the Snug Harbor Cultural Center, which is just a couple blocks away from here. And I like to say that I'm a little bit like Henri Rousseau in the sense that my experience of the tropical was mostly greenhouses. He never went anywhere except to the greenhouses in Paris. Now, I did go to Florida. I lived in Florida for 9 years. So I saw all these wonderful things surrounding me. And while I was there, it would have been in the 1980s, maybe 90s, I took several days and I went from Melbourne, Florida, which is Central Florida, all the way down to Miami on a photo safari, taking pictures for sources for paintings. And the irony is this is going to a collector in Florida, but the subject plant is in Staten Island. Anyway.
Sounds great. It's really marvelous. And it's great that you've, your art has far-reaching effects on people.
Yeah, it's very gratifying. Yeah. This was done so long ago, and sometimes I forget them, or I'll come around the corner and I'll see one of my own paintings, and it'll be like 10 seconds before I realize, oh yeah, I did that. I just kind of look at. That's what I like about, like with your photography and my painting. The recognition of it is instant. There's no mediation like language. Yeah. That's why I don't like artwork that has language in it, because what if I don't speak the language that the artist used in the painting? This is a universal language. You don't have to explain this to anybody. And it's realized all at once. That doesn't mean that you can't get a lot of enjoyment out of it subsequently, but that instant recognition. And I think that that's what motivates a lot of people to buy art. They come around a corner, they see something, it hits them like a bolt of lightning, like love at first sight. I think there's a lot of that in the purchase of art.
So you have a website, or are you on LinkedIn, or?
Well, I have, my website is my name, marylbullock.com. And that's my website. It gives you background and a lot of things I've done. My paintings, certainly, and what I call city tropics. Because my experience of the tropical has been totally in the city. Mm-hmm. If I've been in a jungle, it's a jungle on a college campus in Melbourne, Florida. It's not the Amazon. So I've never been to a true jungle. Maybe one of these days. So I call it urban tropics. And you'll find that if the palm tree is an iconic image. If you want to suggest leisure or getting away or some kind of special state of tranquility, you use a palm tree. So there's a certain iconography to tropical plants that I think, because I take that as my subject matter, I think that's part of it. And I try to make the paintings large enough. This is one of the smaller ones, but I try to make my paintings large enough so that you don't just see them. When you stand in front of them, you can almost feel them. Like the color being reflected off the surface of the painting hitting your skin. You know, that kind of realization of it. So the largest painting I've done is 8 feet by 10 feet. And it's 20 canvases, and each canvas is about 1.5 feet by 1.5 feet. And you can get it in 2 IKEA bags if you want to move it. And then you hang it on the wall with push pins. And it's just and that was at the art lab for, I don't know, about half a year or so. And it looked great over there. It was a lot of fun to have it there.
Great. Great, I love it. It's really makes you think of a different place. It takes you out of Staten Island.
Right. Takes you out of Staten Island.
Takes you out of your apartment.
Now the irony is, this guy who was buying this lives in Longboat Key, so he's in this environment. Mm-hmm. But I found that people who move to Florida, the first thing they want to do is buy a tropical botanical painting for their condo or their house, because they're so thrilled to be there.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
I can see it. I hope he sends you a photograph when it's hanging in.
Oh yeah, I could ask him to. Yeah, because I asked Saatchi about corresponding with the collectors, and they said it was okay for me to put a note in there or something. Yeah. You know, I don't want to ever be in the position where they think that I'm going around them.
Yeah,
directly to a collector, because that wouldn't be fair, because they do invest a certain amount of effort in advertising these. I've noticed that sometimes when I go online, my own painting will pop up. If I'm in Yahoo, and they probably do that with a lot of people, and so they probably have decided to market my work, and that's the reason that in the last year they started selling. I think part of it might have to do with
that's what every artist needs. That
yeah,
you know, it's
that's
like.
Right.
Somebody a big supporter, somebody who's raving about your work.
Right.
And yeah, definitely helps.
And what I like about living on Staten Island, I think that we artists here on Staten Island, well, I call it the economics of eccentricity. It's affordable enough over here that you can afford to be yourself. You're not spending your whole life trying to make your rent. And we're not competitive with one another. We're very supportive. And I think artists who live in other boroughs and have fiscal pressures, I think they tend to be a little more competitive with each other. But we're a real community. That's another thing I like about it. We all know each other, and it's one of the nice things about living over here.
Yep. Great. Thank you so much, Mary.
Okay. Oh, you're very welcome.